Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the MediaByte channel, and today we are going to be talking about kind of a debated topic. So a little topic I think is really interesting to kind of dive into a tiny little bit. It's something I've been thinking about here recently. So if you ask most people of a certain age, I don't know what it would be like if you asked like a 10-year-old right now. I don't know if they even say this movie, but I think most people over the age of say 16, 17 probably right now would put Back to the Future on like in a top 10 list somewhere, right? Either that, whether that's Back to the Future 1, Back to the Future 2, or Back to the Future 3. And I think that it needs to be talked about more because it's a lot of people's favorite movies when they like really talk about it, right? So does that mean that Back to the Future as a franchise is better than most people give it credit for? Because if you asked most people, they would say Back to the Future is their favorite film. Like a lot of people would, right? Not everyone, but a lot of people. And I think that we don't ever talk about that because because it's, an entertainment film. We don't like, quote unquote, it's popcorn film. We often don't kind of lump those in with like, oh, this is just like a general favorite film. But if you said this is my favorite film, I would say like Ron or something, right? Like, I like Ron, but I was just coming up with a random name. Citizen Kane. Say Citizen Kane, just to very generic. I think people often don't really think about Back to the Future as being a great film because it's a blockbuster film and it didn't, it doesn't have the stand of time that something like The Godfather does or Citizen Kane does. And I mean, a lot of The Godfather is a great film. It's one of the best films of all time, but it was also a, you go to the theater, hang out kind of movie at some point, just as every movie that was great was. I mean, it's just interesting where time will bring a lot of those blockbuster films like we talked about. Like, I think a lot of the movies in like the MCU are going to be completely forgotten about, but I think something like Terminator 2 or Indiana Jones or something like that, like Jaws, for example, are going to be labeled as these great films that are, worth in the discussion of best films of all time. But I think recency bias has prevented us from seeing that, which is, and just to kind of bring it into another perspective, Oppenheimer is the same way. I think Oppenheimer is going to be viewed as one of the best films and possibly the most of the time films that's ever been made. But I think it'll take us 50 years before we see that. 30 years, 20 years, 30 years. And it's not going to be next year that we think of Oppenheimer as the greatest film of all time. I think it'll, I'm not saying it's the greatest film of all time. I'm just saying it'll take a while before we fully come to terms with what it means to have great films like that, which is just an interesting thought. So let me know what you guys think. What do you think about recency bias when it comes to greatest films of all time? Do you think as films get older, people tend to have less problems with them? Are people going to have less problems with The Last Jedi in 20 years from now? Or are they going to have more problems with it because it was, look at Halloween 3, for example, or a lot of movies like that. Like, they were all panned when they came out, or The Thing. They're all panned when they came out, but we review them completely differently now than we did back then. And what do you guys think about recency bias and the greatest films of all time? So you can follow us and everywhere on MediaByte. It's on MediaByte Co. or MediaByte Company. Search those two up on whatever thing you do. TikTok and Instagram is where we are now, mostly, but Blue Sky as well. And my personal Instagram is Jared Poyner, Jared Poyner. So there's 2 R's, unfortunately. But yeah, so thank you all, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.